We must fight. I repeat it, sir, we must fight. An appeal to arms and the God of hosts is all that is left us. That's Patrick Henry. His passion doesn't just reveal his faith. He was able to appeal to his counterparts because they shared a common faith. In the pragmatic debate over war, Patrick Henry would not have considered his personal faith to be a compelling reason for fighting the Revolutionary War. It had to be shared by all the Virginia delegates to whom he was speaking. How could they, in turn, expect to inspire the people unless they, too, were a people of faith? This spiritual relationship is witnessed over and over. George Washington remarked, "I am sure that there never was a people who had more reason to acknowledge a divine interposition in their affairs than those of the United States." Benjamin Morris remembers John Adams. He says, "I always consider the settlement of America with reverence and wonder as the opening of a grand scheme and design of Providence." Dramatically, Elbridge Gerry, signer of the Declaration of Independence, in a letter to Samuel Adams, says, "History can hardly produce such a series of events as has taken place in favor of American opposition. The hand of heaven seems to have directed every occurrence." In times of battle, people must be unified. In unity, there is strength. Division causes disintegration, and when things disintegrate, they disappear. And as history has proved, if America cannot reunite, she too will disappear. Moreover, this country wasn't founded simply to make the colonies independent of England. The previous quotes point to an American spirit that united around God. The colonies didn't just combine forces. They united under a banner of freedom, willing to sacrifice, firmly believing they were aided by God. Honoring God gives twofold grace, first in the form of wisdom, and second in the form of His miraculous aid. America has been blessed, and the question is, what are the consequences for disregarding the source of those blessings? The Old Testament tells of the prophet Jonah warning Nineveh to repent or be destroyed. We need a similar recognition of our errors, and just as the Ninevites humbly acknowledge the authority of the Creator, just as we see throughout the Declaration of Independence. That is the only change of course that qualifies us to lead again. Modern America has not just ceased to publicly acknowledge God, she has shown a disdain for Him altogether, dismantling the institutions like marriage that have always been respected by the Church, and removing references to His authority. Marriage has been changed, and statements like "in God we trust" are being challenged, all to appease small segments of the population. Without making the connection between our prosperity and providence, humility disappears, and the power that should be ceded to the divine is ceded to instead authority. Is that what America is? Are we defined by radical freedom, or as protector of rights given by the supreme authority of God Himself? President John F. Kennedy said, "There is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it. To preserve the liberty for which our ancestors fought, we must preserve the Judeo-Christian origin of our law." Talk to you soon.